The rain was on and off all day here, as were the intermediate tires at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Welcome to SportsCenter at the Canadian Grand Prix, brought to you by Mercedes-AMG. Daniel Zakrzewski here with Tim Hauraney. And Tim, let's start with Red Bull. They admitted that this was going to be a difficult week for them, or a difficult weekend. It's already started that way. 4 laps into FP2. They had a mechanical issue with the car, couldn't even continue.
Yeah, I mean, 14 laps in total all day, which is not good by Red Bull standards or anyone's standards. But, you know, I've got a little bit of an update. So Max earlier today took a whole laundry list of components to his car, to his power unit or the engine. And those included a new turbocharger, new MGUH, MGUK, energy store, and a new exhaust system. So I'm hearing that it's the energy recovery system that's failed, and essentially what that is an amalgamation of that MGUH, MGUK, has a lot to do with the motor generator unit that they use in these cars. That's not a good thing if they have to
doesn't sound like
that. But outside of that, I mean, I think for Sergio to get the laps in that he got, it'll give the team an idea of tires, tire deg in that situation. But for Max, in terms of the balance and understanding what the race car does at this track and what it does on different tire compounds, he's not going to know anything. It's going to be really tough, man, for them to understand what Max needs to make this car quick for the rest of the weekend.
Red Bull expected to be challenged this weekend. One of those challengers, Ferrari and Charles Leclerc, just won last time out in Monaco. It's going to be a tough start for his weekend, potentially, though, because there was an incident in FP2.
Yeah, did an update on that one as well. Leclerc's off to see the stewards right now, actually, at 6:30 local time for using intermediate tires when the track was not declared wet. And that's happened at the beginning of free practice 2 when we saw them all in queue at the end of pit lane and heading out onto the track with the wrong set of tires on. Now, the FIA does deem when the track is wet, when the teams can go to those intermediate or wet weather tires, and at that moment that Charles Leclerc left the pit lane, he was on the wrong tire.
Well, there's no doubt that the track would be wet right now. I can tell you that one. There's no doubt that you spoke with him on a Thursday. Here's the sit-down chat that you had with Charles Leclerc.
You're coming off of accomplishing one of your life goals, right? I guess, how do you feel coming into this weekend? Does it feel like a weight has kind of been lifted off, or do you feel normal?
It feels good. It's for sure one of the things that I wanted to achieve in my career. However, I don't want to stop here. And as much as it meant a lot for me and it was a very special moment for me, there's a lot more that I want to achieve. I want to be a world champion, and that is now the main target for sure. But Monza and Monaco are 2 races that I wanted to win. Monaco was a very special one because after 2 years coming very close to it but never really making it, I think it added to the emotion of actually finally making it, and it was a very, very special moment.
Charles Leclerc wins the Monaco Grand Prix!
If we go back to Bahrain, testing, you and I were chatting, and I believe I had asked you about Red Bull and if they were possible to be caught during the season, and you were kind of like, all right, relax, take it easy. But I mean, like right now, like you're at 31 points. I mean, this is really exciting. You must feel super excited to be this close to them this early in the season with so much more to go.
My focus is not so much on the championship now. It's too early in the season, and to be honest, we should never focus too much on the outcome, but we are fully focused on the process, and that's what we've done in the last 8-9 months, and I think that's what helped us to get there. When we look at the overall improvement of the team, I think we are the team that improved the most over the last 7 to 8 months. And we need to keep that motivation of going to fine-tune every single details, because that makes the difference. We are getting closer to Red Bull. Are we yet at the level of Red Bull? No, we are not, and we still have some work to do, and we are very aware of it. We are very honest of ourselves, and I think we are in a good position with the team at the moment. We've got a very clear vision on what we need to do in order to catch them, and we are working flat out on that. And yeah, the goal is definitely to beat them coming the end of the year, but we shouldn't focus on the outcome and more focus on what are our weaknesses at the moment in order to get better.
We won it! Finally!
Yes! 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 Yes!
How much much would it mean to you to bring a championship to Ferrari, Constructors' Championship?
Everything.
Yeah.
It will mean everything. Obviously, that's my dream since I ever started in racing, and I've always wanted to be a world champion with Ferrari. We've had so many years together trying to build this winning team that if we finally make it, it will be very, very, very special for everybody, because we've all been part of this process of building up to that moment. So we've got to stick to what we are doing, and I really hope that this moment will happen.
So Charles Leclerc, second in the Drivers' Championship, and Ferrari, second in the Constructor Championship. So Tim, I ask you this. Of the two championships there, which do you think is more realistic to see Ferrari win this year?
It's going to be really tough to see them win the driver's title. It does kind of seem like it's out of the realm of possibility. However, there is a chance. It could happen. So I'll leave that like that. But I will say the Constructors' Championship is definitely within grasps. And I had said this before on SportsCenter. I'll say it again. We have ourselves a Constructors' Championship battle between Red Bull and Ferrari, and potentially, we'll see how McLaren does this weekend. We could potentially have McLaren enter the chat real soon.
Well, it's nice to hear that the championship is narrowed on the Constructors' side, but it is still just 31 points that Leclerc trails Max Verstappen heading into this race.